Hello, are you ready for our paper pumpkin night? I love this kit. It goes along with the Artistically, oh shoot, I should have looked that up. Hang on. It's the one that's on the cover. So this whole suite, this paper pumpkin matches along with that. Beautiful suite. And I think I needed to check. I should have checked before now, but I think that paper is coming back soon. I think it was supposed to be back yesterday, but I did not get a chance to see if it was here. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to come find me, and then we will get started putting our kits together. Hope everybody got theirs. Michelle, I hope you finally got yours. I know yours was kind of stuck at the post office. There's Betty. Hey, Betty, how are you tonight? Just giving everybody a minute to join me. Hope everybody had a nice 4th of July. We had a great time. Sam was here with his girlfriend, and Michael and Emily Ann and Liam came over Sunday, and we grilled out. And we went to watch the fireworks Sunday night at the river, and the weather was beautiful. I mean, it was just so nice. Hey, Nancy. I could not believe how nice it was. Usually you're just dying of heat. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. So tonight we're putting together this kit. Gorgeous, gorgeous kit. I love it. If you hear my cat, for some reason I don't know what he's doing. He keeps meowing at me. But this is what we're putting together tonight. So you get 9 cards, 3 of each one. And let's get started, and then I'll show you the bonus card that I will send you all at the end. So we'll start with this card. Isn't that card base is just beautiful. Sorry, let me make sure I'm holding it at the right spot. And I love these little sequins that came with it. All right, so let's get started. Now, I found, just to let you know, that they told us, I think it was 26 inches. Let me see. Yes, they said 26 inches. That was not long enough for me to tie a bow by any means. So mine is just in a knot with ends. So I know Betty will like that. But you do have, I've cut all my twine, and you do have some left over. So you might even want to cut that, I don't know, 30 inches or something instead of 26. Because 26, you'll see, is just not quite enough. All right, so there's our gorgeous card base. And we're going to stamp. Now your kit comes with the 2 spots, Bumblebee and Evening Evergreen. But I leave those together so I can put them in like prizes or kits to get with orders, so I use my big ones. So for this, we're going to use Bumblebee. And you are amazing. Let me grab my foam mat because that will make it easier. It also makes it easier to see. All right, so we've got our Bumblebee. And you are amazing. And we'll put that right in the middle of this. And you do have like 2 or 3 extra of each of the sentiment things. So if you mess up with one, you've got another one that you can use. All right, we'll set that aside for the moment. And that. Okay, so they have you tie your twine around the card twice. And you want your end, which you can always move it, but they want your end over here on the right. So I'm going to pull that through a little bit more. Go around. Make sure you've got your card open. And see, that's what I've got. We'll just tie it on the inside and then I'll move it. So that's not enough to tie a ribbon. So I just tied a knot. And even that was a little challenging. So like I said, you've got some extra. I would cut maybe 30 inches instead of 26. And I've cut for all, there's only one other card that uses the twine, and I've already cut all of it. So what you saw on my spool was what I had left. And of course, it's always harder to tie when you're on camera. This was not easy anyway. All right, so now let's pull this around to the front. So it'll be right on this edge. There we go. Okay. Now he's messing with boxes. He is just getting on all my nerves tonight. Okay. So I didn't notice this when I did my first one, but I don't think you can see where I put the glue dot. I put one up here somewhere. So I don't think you can really see it, but when they show you on the directions for this, they have you putting 3 glue dots just down here in that corner. So just down here on this big flower. And I am going to, so they have it, is that when it's turned? Okay, so they have it on this side. That's where your sentiment is going to go. So I am going to use the glue dots they gave me. You don't have to. You can use other glue dots. And so they put 3 down here. Oh, I might have to take my bracelet off. It's kind of noisy. It's got a dangle part, so I can take that off so it's not so loud. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to put one up here, like where this, there's a little bit, like up here where there's a little bit more white. And I don't think anybody will notice it, but I'm just afraid it's going to flop around too much if I don't put something up there. So let's take all our backs off. All right, and then this is going to go right over. So you want that to be over to the side where you're going to put your sentiment. So it's just going to go right over your twine. That seems kind of not straight. Let's do that. And then your sentiment, they show you that you're just going to use, that's kind of hard to see on camera in it there, 2 dimensionals, 1 on each end. And I'm going to put them a little bit towards the bottom, because if you put them right on the ends, then it's hard to straddle that ribbon. So you can see on this one I had to put it a little bit below, but if I put this on the bottom, then I can make that go up a little bit farther. All right. And then the last thing are these beautiful sequins. So they put 5 on every card. So you put 2 up on this side. And 2 over here. Come here. Again, this Take Your Pick tool is great for things like this. And then 1 down here by your sentiment. And there you go. There's our first card. Isn't that pretty? I love those sequins. They kind of change colors. All right, card number 1 done. Let's go to card number 2. So this one is a smaller format. And it says, thanks for everything. Get my directions on the right page. And I didn't notice it at first until I looked at the directions, but you're actually stamping on the background of it. So let's get all of our pieces out for this. Come on. that aside for the moment. Let's do our stamping. So now we've got Evening Evergreen. And they're taking the big outline stamp. I don't know if you can see which one this is. So it's the outline flower one. And you're just going to stamp it like 3 times. So like that. And I just turned it. That. And then one more down here. But that's not all. Then you're going to take just the little, might be easier to show you on this little flower one. So we did that one first. Now we're doing this little flower. And you're just going to fill in. So they have, and I just did it like they did, a couple over here. One down here. Another one over here. One over here. I think that was it. Looks like they did 5. So that's all of our Evening Evergreen. And then your little sentiment, you're going to use the For Everything and the bumblebee. See if I can do this straight. I got a little bit to the left, but that's okay. All right. That is all the stamping. So now we can put this on our card base. And I am going to use my Stampin' Seal for this. Just so you don't have to suffer through me using the glue dots for that. A little faster. This just goes on our card base. All right, and then they show you again. So this is our thanks. That's out of vellum, which I know it's really hard for you to see. Here, I can do this. Then you can see. There we go. Now you can see it. So they have, if you look on the directions, they show you where to put the glue dots. So you're going to put one kind of at the bottom of the S. And I think they're kind of picking where it's a little bit thicker white and they won't show as much. One at the bottom of the N, kind of. And also your For Everything is going to go across some of this, I think. And then one. Sorry, I have to look at it closely. Yeah, right here at the beginning of the A. Let's get that. Up. All right. So this is going to go. You want to be sure you leave enough room to put your For Everything. But it's just going to go across, whoops, across there. And then they have you putting the For Everything on with dimensionals. These, I think, are pretty big. I was afraid they would show. So I had some mini dimensionals. So that's what I used. If you don't have mini dimensionals, just cut the ones that came in the kit in half and they'll work just fine. I was just afraid those big ones would show on the either side of that. All right, and then that just goes along the bottom of your thanks. And then we get to add some more of those gorgeous sequins. So we'll do 5 again. And they did 2 kind of up here, 2 kind of up off of the K, and then 1 down by the sentiment. Okay, there you go. Isn't that pretty? Card number 2. All right. Last one. This one is so beautiful. I mean, they all are, but I love all of this. These little flower things. All right. Let's get this. Let me get my paper to the right page. So there's our directions for this one. Get all my pieces out. And so they show on the vellum, and it does, to me, it did have a right side up. So it's kind of viney leaves, and that is right side up to me. So the stems are down. But they show you to put your glue dots right, oh, here it is, right here. Like 4 kind of in the middle, because you're going to cover all that up with your other things. So that looks like the right side. All right. Glue dots. And you can't see that again. Let me put this underneath of it so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to put 4 just kind of in the middle. Oops, over there. All right, take those backs off. There we go. Sometimes they just fly right off. And then we'll put that on our card base. Just right in the middle. And then I think we do our, all of our leaf things next. So they started with the green. And aren't these pretty? They're so pretty. They're delicate to punch out. And they just put 1 glue dot in the middle. In the back. And I don't know that it matters what direction. I tried to lay mine like they did, just because then I didn't have to try and figure it out. So they have it going like this. About like that. Near as I can tell. So I'm looking at the green here. And then they took the pink, and again, just a glue dot in the middle. And it is going this way. But you have to be careful. You don't want it going off the page. Oops. So about like that. And then the purple is the last one. Again, a glue dot in the middle. This one was the most delicate one. And this one, I couldn't tell really much difference. They looked, all the stems looked the same, so you just kind of want it to go like that. Isn't that pretty? I love that paper. All right, then you take, and they showed 1 glue dot. I put 2 glue dots just to help. So just kind of in the middle. And then you're going to take your ribbon, or your twine, I mean, and just fold it back and forth. So I'm going to kind of try it first. So that's, oops, a little bit too big. I mean, they show it going all the way across. Let's see. Whoops. Let's see if we can do it this way. And then a big loop. And another loop. So I'm just trying to get those kind of anchored in the glue dots that I put there in the middle. And then we'll put the sentiment over it, which we need to stamp. So let's do that. Not sure I got that middle one. Yeah, that one's not stuck to anything. There we go. All right, let's do our sentiment. So this one they used congratulations. Let's put it on the other side of this one. And they used the bumblebee. Put that right in the middle. There we go. And then that, this time the dimensionals are not too big for this one, so you can just put one on either end. And then it's going to go just right across this middle where everything's coming together. Try and make sure your loops are out from underneath. There we go. And then it's time for more sequins. So again, they did 5. So they did 2 up here. And they did 1 kind of like in the middle of the loop, which my loop won't stay, but that's okay. 1 there, and then 1 more down here. And so you have 3 more cards. I have 3 more cards to do, so I have 1 extra row of sequins. So if you want, you can use them on your bonus project. I wasn't sure if I would have plenty, so I didn't use them on mine. But you certainly could. Looks like you've got enough. All right, so that is all of the kit that you get. So let me show you again the 3 cards that come with the kit. And then we'll move on to the bonus one. So these are the 3 cards that you can make with the kit, which they are so pretty. And you get to make 3 of each. Okay. Now let me show you the bonus one that I made. And so I used some of that gorgeous paper that is, if not back, will be back soon, and the dies that go with the set, which I have sitting over here. And this is what I made. So I just used some of that, whoop, got some backs there. Some of that paper. I used opal rounds in the middle, but you could definitely use the sequins since you've got enough left over. And then these are the dies that go with the stamp set in the annual catalog. So I use this big intricate die, and then there's this gorgeous leaf one, and then these cut out the stamps from the stamp set. So let me show you how I did this. It's very easy. So your card base is mint macaron, which is one of the greens in the paper. And then let me grab this paper so I can show you how I cut this. There's a good way to cut it so you end up with 6 card fronts like that. I think there's a pink piece like that. I can show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, here it is. Either one of these. So this is similar. The other side has got the metallic on it. So this is similar to this green paper that I cut up for these. So the first thing you do is you cut it straight in half. So you cut it at 6 inches. And then you can trim off, like these are 5 1/4 by 4. So you've got a 6-inch piece, then you trim it down to 5 1/4. Now on the green paper I use, let me show you. So when you trim it off that white side, you just have this piece of white, but on the other side of that, you have this gorgeous green. So you can use it, you know, on the inside or on another paper, on another card. This one, let's see what you're gonna have. Yeah, you're gonna have a little bit of pink. So cut it 6, cut off of the white end down to 5 1/4, and then you cut at 4. So you've got 3, 6. Hopefully that makes sense. But that way you end up with this nice, you see all of this. You don't waste any of this pretty design in the middle. So that's how I did these. And they have, all of them are a little bit different. I mean, they have the gold in them, but they have some of the different green tones. So this is the Mint Macaron, and then this is Just Jade. So those are 2 of the colors that are in this green. But before we put it together, let's do our stamping. So I did sending hugs. You can use thanks. You can use any of the sentiments that come with this. Grab a block. Or you can use a sentiment that you have from another set. So what I did is I kind of laid this on there. I didn't adhere. You could adhere it, I guess. I could do that. But I just kind of laid it on there because I didn't want the sending hugs just like floating way out there. I wanted it to be close to the flower. There we go. Yeah, this one will be hard. If you don't stamp it right, you turn it over and that would get kind of lost. All right, and then you just adhere this to the card. And it's really hard to put one side down because all of these, both sides of this paper is just gorgeous. We're just gonna put that right in the middle. And then I took, so I'm gonna put this about like that. I thought about letting it hang off and then cutting the edge, but I decided not to. Whoops. So I took a glue dot because I knew I was going to put something in the middle of that flower. I put a glue dot there. And then I took my liquid glue and just hit a couple of spots that had a little bit more cardstock there. So you don't want too much. But just to help it stick on the outside. And I kind of liked having some of it kind of stick up so it was kind of 3D. And then you just kind of hold it down for just a minute so that green glue can adhere. And I'm going to leave this one without anything in the middle because this is one I'm going to send out to one of you. So one of you will get one already made up. But then you can use your sequins in the middle, your leftover sequins, if you have the opal rounds and you want to use them, rhinestones, whatever you want to use. But that's it. That's the bonus card. And it really is simple. I mean, this die is so beautiful. You really don't need much else besides that. So I'll put that one aside because I have to send that to somebody. And let's look at everything we've done tonight. So these are the 3 that came in the kit. And then there's our bonus one. Thank you, ladies. I hope you enjoyed that. And I will be back tomorrow night with Facebook Live. We're playing with the In Symmetry stamp set this week, which I was playing with before I came on to do this. So watch for tomorrow night at 7:30. I'll be showing you something I've made with that stamp set. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, and I will see you tomorrow night. Good night.